Hello traders, let's talk about such an interesting topic as the way to become a trader. In this video I will tell you about a little about my story, ups and downs, and give a piece of advice to beginners that will allow them to avoid the mistakes that I made and make the path of becoming a trader much more efficient and shorter. So let's talk about the trader's path. Personally, I started to be interested in trading in high school. Then later in 2015, I began to do it on a permanent basis. But for the first and the second year, I only lost money. The problem was the lack of systematization of knowledge, attempts to trade everything simultaneously, and inability not only to control emotions but also to adhere to the risk management system. Now I have been trading for about 6 years and I am still continue to learn and improve my trading because the market is cyclical, but if you want to keep up with the market and earn money, you need to constantly study the market and keep your finger on the pulse. Perhaps the most popular question asked to a trader is the biggest loss and the biggest profit per trade. I really like telling this story when, for the first time, trading for me has become more or less stable, and I was really obsessed with the idea to quit my job and doing trading. I have grown my deposit up to $5,000, and I was absolutely sure and convinced that I could make a living from trading and I didn't need a job. The market immediately punished me for such thoughts. By changing its stage, I believed in myself too much, and as a result, I caught positive tilt, and in less than an hour, there was nothing left from my $5,000 deposit. For me, that was the real disaster because that was a quite large sum of money for me, and I wanted to show myself that I could be my own boss. That moment, I was absolutely disappointed in trading. However, in less than a week, I started trading again. But I convinced myself that if I could do it once, I could do it again. But I just stopped thinking about the idea of growing the deposit. I simply withdrew everything that was earned over $500. That was my new deposit that time. I made again more profound trading system with the very clear risk management, and I began to trade much less but more efficiently. After that, nevertheless, I lost my deposit several times, but each time I returned it faster and faster. After which I have learned how to determine the pre-tilt state and signs of a change in market phases. Trading began to level off in good class, and finally I left my job only when I stopped pinching myself with strict deadlines and strict goals, stopped burning with the idea of growing deposit, accepted losses more easily, and began to pay off a loan for my car through trading but not from my salary. At the same time, I accumulated a financial pillow that allowed me to feel comfortable during this transformation from the status of employee to the status of freelance trader. When answering the question about the biggest profit per trade, I still didn't exceed the threshold on $1,000 per trade. Many of you are accustomed to seeing a rather impressive trades that showed by some experienced traders. However, from my own experience, I will tell you that you should strive not for an impressive profit per one trade, but for an impressive income over a distance, which in most cases consists of not the biggest profit per trade, but following the system. You need to come and to get used to the higher volumes. However, I'm more in favor of maximum risk reduction and comfortable trading. You trade in such volumes that you do not worry about in case of losses, because you are a good trader till you have a safe and sound nerve system. Of course, the psychological type plays a really big role in trading. You can be a risk taker or you try to avoid risks in favor of a comfortable trading. I personally belong to the second type. So let's highlight the main tips for beginners. First of all, take your time and do not push yourself into limits and strict goals. This is an additional factor of psychological pressure, and some psychological aspects could not be forced in a couple of months of trading, like emotional control. Second, it's worth having an additional source of income so that your subconscious mind understands that there is a plan B and you will not die of hunger if you do not earn money today from trading. Third, trading system and risk management. I think there is no need for commenting this. Fourth, always withdraw your earnings, spend it, and feel what the market gives you. Do not overtrade, or you will burn out before you reach the real results that will probably motivate you even more. Be prepared for the stair-step growth. The record is usually followed by the anti-record. Even when you think that you have learned already, you will have quite hard falls. A successful trader is a one trader who remains profitable in all market stages. And finally, be patient. Trading is a natural selection process, and only the most persistent and patient remain in this craft. Thank you for your attention. The video was prepared by the CSCALP Trading Terminal team.